Because it's broken. It's a bad, ugly mess.
Okay.
It's barely a game. It's basically a PowerPoint.
Two of the games on this bracket that, perhaps, could not be less alike. Today, Jim Caddick, Barry Kramer, Gerard Khalil, and Shane Gill join me, Forrest Lee, as we decide which of these two iconic PlayStation games gets to move on. It's Ape Escape and Final Fantasy IX, and this is Madness. Welcome back to PlayStation 1 Madness. Today we got a little bit of a weird matchup. It's Ape Escape versus Final Fantasy IX. I actually have a point I want to start on.
Oh, really?
Yeah. The best part of Final Fantasy IX is Vivi's character design, and they didn't even make it up. It's from the original. Everything about this game is just taken from older Final Fantasies.
It's hot garbage.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Anyone that likes it is fooling themselves.
Ape Escape.
Ape Escape, pure.
Yeah, no. Ape Escape,
original.
Ape Escape, best story.
Brand new universe. Not referencing anything
New
else.
IP.
Yeah.
New IP.
Yeah, new IP.
Taking advantage of the DualShock controller.
Yeah. Best graphics.
Best graphics, innovative gameplay.
Actually,
Best voice acting.
I'm semi-joking about that, but something I do want to...
Semi?
Something I do want to talk about, when we were streaming Ape Escape, we like straight up looked at that and we were like, this looks great.
It does.
It looks rock solid.
For what it's trying to do, yes.
A lot of PS1 games, you feel like you have to kind of look at the art on the box to be like, oh, that's what it's going for. But in Ape Escape, it actually is a very vivid, it's kind of Mega Man-ish.
Yeah, we were talking about how it's
yeah.
Mega Man Legends, but better.
Yeah. It is a very clear art direction, and it works. It holds up.
And interestingly as well, they both go for a similar anime manga-ish kind of. You know?
There is a lot of overlap
different-
between Final Fantasy IX and Ape
Although,
Escape.
as I'm sure we can all agree, Final Fantasy IX is absolutely beautiful. I'm sure.
I guess
it's a good-looking game.
I guess it looks better. I guess it's objectively better in a way. I guess.
It doesn't look as good as
I guess it has an incredible soundtrack that spans hundreds of hours of gameplay, but I guess that's okay.
Guess it's the best looking PS1 game, I guess.
Stands alongside Titans and manages to stand even taller.
Whatever.
I think it's important to stress at this point that I haven't touched Final Fantasy IX.
Me neither.
So basically, not only is this a weird matchup of two completely different and well-beloved games, but I can't fairly compare the two. And well, yeah, it looks beautiful. It sounds like it would have an amazing soundtrack. I guess the story looks like it would be incredible. I guess. But I don't know. It's all I guess.
It's not Ape Escape. That's what matters.
Just to touch on that though, Nobuo Uematsu's work is always incredible.
Okay, right.
It's always incredible.
Okay, that's the end.
Okay.
That's it. All right. Okay.
But in
Gerard.
Ape Escape, your health is cookies.
Yeah.
It is cookies, and that is adorable, and I love it.
Final Fantasy
You
IX
get a
has
remote.
better controls than Ape Escape.
Because you don't f***ing do anything. You press the X button.
You point
over
in a
and over.
direction and go in that direction.
That's what you do.
In Ape
In
Escape.
Ape Escape, you point in a direction and you go not in that direction.
R1 being jump is a novel concept. It's genius.
Which button do I use to jump? Oh, the trigger.
You click in L2 to swim. It's brilliant.
You twiddle the right stick and you run faster. You get a remote control
You put the
car.
controller down and do a press up. That's how you jump in Ape Escape.
I think you're saying that Final Fantasy has better controls than Ape Escape because you don't control that game. All you do is like,
Okay, hold on.
You move
My
the
DVD menu
Hold
of the
on.
room has better controls than Ape Escape.
Okay, I know your part.
I think Final Fantasy is as much as a game as the DVD menu for the room.
Okay, it's interactive. It's a game.
Hold on.
No.
What?
Yeah.
What? What?
My eyes f***ing glaze over during JRPGs, man.
Right, but like,
That's why.
there are games that do. I can't.
We just spent an episode arguing about how tank controls are amazing, and now we're saying this is and it doesn't work.
Is anyone seeing this? Is anyone seeing? Help
Ape
me.
Escape's really good,
Help.
dude.
Call for help. Tell help.
Listen, Ape Escape, you go to not only different lands, different times.
Yeah.
Can you do that in Final Fantasy IX? I don't think so.
Monkeys have machine guns. Final Fantasy doesn't have that.
Convince me that Final Fantasy IX is a good game.
Ape Escape is a time machine
I'm
itself.
not gonna try convincing you because you said seconds ago that you glaze over JRPGs. That's like trying to convince a vegan to eat a steak. That's not gonna work. I know how this works. I'm not going that game.
Ape Escape makes me travel through time because it takes me back to when game control sucked balls.
Is this just because of the trigger?
Final
No.
I think
Final Fantasy IX
really
has
well.
actual character models that look great.
Final Fantasy IX, you press up, you go up. You press left, you go left.
It's also true of Ape Escape.
You want to select a menu, you press X,
This
and then
is
it does
also
it.
true of Ape Escape.
Yeah,
They found
is this
also true of Ape
They
Escape.
found
It is.
4K to 8K resolution files of
And that's gonna look
artwork.
real great on your CRT.
It doesn't. The art. You're telling me that Ape Escape looks better than Final Fantasy IX? You're telling me? You're telling me?
Ape Escape is 100% 3D. There's no pre-rendered backgrounds, my dude.
That doesn't mean the game looks better or worse than Final Fantasy. Like,
I'm just speaking in objective truth, my dude.
Yeah, you don't need to
You can-
worry
you can-
about like 4K and 8K graphics.
Yeah,
because
it's all
I'm
there.
I'm
You get
talking
everything.
about-
You get what you asked
No,
for.
no,
The point is that the art direction from 1999, the way that they did it, they designed it to look impeccable and timeless to the point where you can go back and play it, to the point where if a hacker out there is like, I'm gonna make this game in motherfucking 4K, they can. It would look awesome because they designed the. I'm done.
But you got to remember one thing, Gerard. In Ape Escape, you can swim in water.
I got one thing. I got one thing for you, Jordan.
and it has, and you can use a net machine, and it's like.
You know how you spell Final Fantasy 9? FFIX. It spells fix.
Because you need to fix
Because you gotta fix it.
you need to fix it.
You have to fix it. Because it's broken. It's a bad, ugly mess.
Okay,
It's barely a game. It's basically a PowerPoint.
Vivi is a mage that is a part of a system in which he breaks away from
Spike
society.
is a spunky young lad, but he's 9 years old. I don't know.
Yeah, he is. He's
heist.
10. I think he's 10.
The
Yeah.
game starts out in a beautiful heist. This has now just become a one-on-one monologue with
Yeah,
the
yeah, he's just talking with the viewers now.
It starts out with the incredible heist in which a princess wants to actually be kidnapped.
Ape
Like,
Escape also has heists. Every monkey,
Every level
every
of
ape
heist.
is
Can
a
we,
heist.
Can we just say something as well? I mean, Final Fantasy IX. You know, who wants to? Are we reading a book or like playing a game?
If I want to read a book, I read a book.
And Ape Escape doesn't only have voice acting. Each version of the game and NTSC and PAL have different voice actors. I mean,
Is that true?
How often? Yeah, it is.
Is the
And
villain
PAL
not British?
No,
in
the PAL version has a better villain voice. Yeah, he's actually like
he American?
No, he's maniacal British.
He's even more British.
Yeah, he's maniacal
Okay,
British.
okay.
And Final Fantasy doesn't have that. So
I feel the rage emanating. What? Please.
I'm good.
okay, basically, since I've got nothing to add to the whole Final Fantasy thing, I'm just gonna say like. For a platformer, it's interesting, it's new, it does control well shade, it does. I've never made a single mistake while platforming in that game
That's
at
a
all.
lie.
I haven't. Honestly.
My one real complaint when I played Ape Escape a couple days ago was I feel like when you have the net, you should be able to aim in a direction opposite. So you pull the stick back, it should give you a little reticule to aim, and then you release it to throw your net. I think that would feel better and would give you a better indication of where you're going. That's about it, because otherwise you push and you just throw, and it's just very
I have
one-on-one.
a similar feeling of where I feel like you should point in a direction and the net should go in that direction.
It does. You press the stick
But
in
you
the.
go in the stick and then it goes.
That's because you're not
Because
good.
you're pressing the stick
It's
the
'cause
wrong
you're-
way,
that's,
Shane.
That's on you. You gotta learn.
Okay.
I've
learn how
never
sticks
made.
work.
I've 100%ed that game countless times, and it's not that bad. It's not that bad at all.
R1 to jump is pretty rough, and clicking in a stick to swim down is pretty rough.
I
Yeah.
don't know. Going in the direction you want to go is pretty good.
Going in the direction
Also,
you want to
it's
go in a game where that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like,
But yeah, it's a time travel adventure. You
gotta
go to
give
kill,
the direction
you go to
going
capture.
in points to Final Fantasy.
Yeah, you go.
most jokes aside, we should
I'm not
talk,
joking.
we-
This is as serious as I've ever been in my life.
And the soundtrack of Ape Escape is amazing.
It's super.
God.
It is.
No, it's actually really good.
It is.
It's a
It's
bop.
great.
It's a bop. And
I'm
a
not
half.
saying it's.
I
I'm
would-
not saying it's better than Final Fantasy IX because I know the soundtrack of that. But it is for like hardcore drum and bass techno, like catching monkeys with machine guns and UFO music. I think it's cool. It's a good soundtrack.
Okay.
Do you have any drugs?
First, use the time station to return to the past and check each era for any remaining monkeys on the loose.
We should talk about some stuff in Final Fantasy IX that I think It is very good.
I'm just gonna go under the table then, because I can't add anything to this. So have fun, guys.
we mentioned it earlier. The art direction in that game is gorgeous.
You're talking about Ape Escape, right?
We mentioned it earlier. I don't know if you were there.
The art direction in Final Fantasy IX is gorgeous. It took a lot of the older Final Fantasy style and kind of modernized it into the 3D PlayStation style. Something I guess 14 kind of did that, but it was like a combination of the anime stuff that Nomura
And it
added to the
lost the
franchise.
chibi style, really. Yeah.
I've got really bad heartburn. I need to come back.
Oh, Caddy, you're here. Welcome.
Well,
So I will say about Final Fantasy IX, I'm entirely unfamiliar with it.
really?
I know of I know of Vivi. That's about it.
Vivi's in
design-
Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, I mean, well, right. So I tend to prefer sci-fi to sort of traditional Western medieval fantasy. So for me to see like the evolution from like 5, I guess the older Final Fantasy to 6 to 7 to 8, and then 9 to me is like, okay, like I get
It's a
that
regression.
it's like a regression, but it's not because it's a different style.
Ape
It's
Escape
not.
has a medieval castle in it.
Yeah, so it's better. but it's like for where my money's at, like I prefer the sort of like futuristic kind of world of Final Fantasy VII to a traditional medieval. I mean, it's not traditional in any sense. It's crazy and imaginative.
The more traditional.
And again, being unfamiliar with, they're watching that review. They're going through these cities, and there's these crazy giant fantasy cities.
The bosses
It's
look
beautiful.
amazing.
It's
Yeah.
gorgeous.
Yeah.
Just for me, I'm not as into that as I am 7 and 8's work.
When you were talking about fantasy versus sci-fi, I thought you were about to say Ape Escape has sci-fi.
Well, that's
the same thing too.
Ape Escape is sci-fi and has medieval fantasy, as
And
Patty
has
pointed
medieval
out.
fantasy.
Yeah, so it's
There's
the best of
something
both
for
worlds.
As a group, we're all a little unfamiliar with Final Fantasy IX, right? That's just kind of the expectedness of this battle.
Yes.
Have any of us beaten it?
What's up?
Has any of us beaten Final Fantasy IX?
I've gone to the very end very many times.
You've gone to the. So you've beaten it, maybe.
I haven't beaten it, but I've replayed the game several times to like almost beating it. But I know how it ends because of research and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
This is hard to debate because narratively,
Clearly, because we didn't even try.
right. Well, and that's fine. I get that. Like, you know, we can't expect everyone to play every single game thoroughly across the board. But I think that the thing about Final Fantasy IX that really all the Final Fantasies have is narrative. The narrative is what makes these games so popular. You have characters who are feeling things and emotions and going on journeys together, and betrayals and death and tragedy and identity and all core values that we as humans always feel and relate to. But it's hard to talk about what makes Final Fantasy IX great from that perspective when none of us have that authority to talk about, other than Ape Escape is a game where you catch monkeys. Like
It's like me.
Apes,
It's
Gerard,
like
they don't have tails.
sorry, apes.
well, it's like me talking about Symphony of the Night, having played the first hour. It's like that you don't get a sense of what that game is.
You say they're apes, but they're called monkey helmets.
Well, that's wrong.
Yeah, that's what they call them, monkey helmets. They're not ape helmets. Ape Escape's
Well, the
terrible.
game is called.
The point is that it's hard to sell everyone on a game that is incredible when no one's played it.
So you've played Ape Escape as well, right?
Yeah.
It's like, I come up to you and I go like, okay, you've got a chance to replay just for fun, Final Fantasy IX, all this, just for fun, just play it. Because I think Ape Escape, it's very like as a 3D platformer, it's very replayable. I every time I replay it, I don't enjoy it any less.
But see, I guess for me, talking to me is different because I'm a different beast than most people. To me, I'm not gonna say what makes a great PS1 game to be the greatest, but the PS1 to me is a RPG based system where a lot of the great games that came from it are massive 40+ hour RPGs. Also, some that were not just Squaresoft.
Yeah, like the two that we have on this bracket of
Well, things like Wild Arms, for instance. The Wild Arms series is great. There's all these games out there that, in the time of the PlayStation, focused on narrative and building these more than just simple platforming things.
And Frost, Legend of Dragoon.
The Lunar series is huge.
Was Jade Cocoon PS1?
Yes.
My point is that it's hard to talk about. It's hard. Again, we're just running in circles at this point because
Yeah.
you know, like I'd love to talk about the opening sequence in Final Fantasy IX and how it's this awesome heist that just goes right and goes wrong at the same time. You have this crew of the Tantalus who are trying to kidnap the princess, and the princess is like, I need to be kidnapped to get out of here because my mom is crazy. In this like kind of Renaissance fair-y kind of area. Those cutscenes blow your off just watching them. Like, I have never seen a mom look more terrifying than in Final Fantasy IX. That opening cutscene where the stakes are being set, you're just kind of like, it's like watching a party happen, and you're like, who's gonna get killed? You're immediately intrigued into what's happening on screen, and then you have a character like Vivi who's just kind of like, I'm not supposed to be in all of this, but I'm entering the group, and now I'm here, and now I have purpose. And I wasn't supposed to have purpose. I was built to be a war machine, and now I'm a part of this fun crew, and I'm trying to find myself. And all this stuff contextually doesn't matter because none of us have played Final Fantasy IX.
At the risk of falling down a rabbit hole maybe we don't want to go down, how do you feel like it compares to a lot of the other 3D Final Fantasies?
This is what I was going to say. Like, for a 9, this is like, it's kind of like, I guess, comparing, I don't know, Mega Man 6 to Mega Man X, I guess, in a weird way.
If we're talking, like, out of the 3D ones...
Or even just among, like 7, 8, 9, you know?
I mean, everyone on the internet knows how I feel about 7, but I think 9, objectively speaking, if you've never played an RPG before and you want to get your feet wet, and you had to pick 7, 8, or 9 from a narrative perspective, I'd pick 9 every time. Yeah. Because it's digestible, the characters are much more relatable, the characters wear their hearts on their sleeves, and you know their intentions and directives. They all have wants and goals, and they work together towards those goals. And then you look at something like 7, which we're going to talk about in a bit, and it becomes a cohesive narrative the whole way through, but it's got a lot of roller coaster and Japanese stuff that doesn't quite translate as well. Whereas I feel like 9 was more designed for Western audiences to consume, really meant for anyone to consume because of the fact they decided to go and do a more fantastical setting. And the game is not afraid to be funny. The character of Steiner and the way he interacts with people is just a big comedic relief that ends up having such a big heart. I
think for me, this comes down to, like, which we're gonna have to wrap up soon, guys. This train wreck of a discussion.
Yeah, this was, yeah.
I think Final Fantasy IX is like a beautiful, amazing 9-course meal where they're just stuffing food into your face more and more until I want to vomit. And Ape Escape is like a nice little cookie.
Makes you vomit straight away.
Ape Escape is like a nice little cookie
that you bought from McDonald's.
Yeah.
And you eat it, and you're like, I'm not gonna feel super great later.
It's gourmet versus fast food.
Yeah.
But it's good fast food.
Yeah, it's like a Chick-fil-A.
Yeah. So that's it. That's it.
I wish I had more context for Final Fantasy.
So do I, because
I legitimately had fun playing Ape Escape the other day. I actually had fun. It's a game I would want to go back to and enjoy. So I don't know if we're voting.
Go for it.
But I'm gonna vote for Ape Escape.
Same here. Yeah. But that is mostly on the grounds.
It's mostly because I played Ape Escape and had fun and would want to play again, and I'm not usually a JRPG guy.
Well, this is the thing. Like we can either be.
So I know everyone's bad, but I'm standing by it.
Look, the internet will get angry if you say that if you're pandering for the sake of pandering because you know that Final Fantasy is probably the better game. But
I'm not going to vote against my own interests.
Yeah, that's the same with me. I haven't played Final Fantasy IX. It looks incredible, but I just haven't played it, and so because of that, by default, I have to vote for Ape Escape. So,
also, it's the better game.
Also, it's great. Yeah.
Final Fantasy IX.
If you look at Final Fantasy IX, it's a game that knows exactly what it is, and it's a game where they executed exactly that perfectly.
As is Ape Escape.
Ape Escape is a platformer where jump is on the trigger. Final Fantasy IX.
Oh. Okay, deciding. What do you think?
Ape
Escape.
I'm voting Ape Escape.
Yeah! No! Yeah. Okay, I didn't actually think you were going to do that. Even though I love Ape Escape, I'm actually kind of sad for Final Fantasy right now.
That's not okay. That's not right.
Yeah, I think
we made a terrible mistake.
Yeah, we're self-aware enough to know that was probably a very bad idea.
Oh dear.
Oh, that kind of hurts on an existential level.
Oh man, Fraser's mad.
Cutting it off. I'm cutting all of it. Cutting all of it off.
Who do you think should have won this train wreck of a discussion? Let us know down in the comments below. If you somehow enjoyed this, please like and subscribe for more episodes every Tuesday and Thursday. And if you haven't already, please check out other episodes of Madness. They're more level-headed than this one. Promise.